Today I'm going to be going over my center top 10 base locations. So strap up, buckle in, and let's get into them. At number 1, we have Blue Obby Island. Now this spot has always been really good for several reasons. Number 1 being really obvious, you have a giant obelisk on your front doorstep. On the back of the island, you can locate a couple of metal spots and crystal. So it's actually quite resource rich on this island to be here, and you're not that far away from Skull Island either. The really good thing about this location though is if you have a base down here, not only is it pretty flat, making building really easy in most spots, and you have a lot of space to build in, you can also quite easily build a really solid water pen down here as well. Depending on what you want to put in here, you could cryo things in here, you could probably fit many mosasaurs and all that. You probably don't even need all this space. I'd probably use like this side or something because this is nice and evenly deep here. But yeah, you can do a lot with this space and it's really good. But yeah, if you're interested in this location in general, you'll be looking at 4981 on the map. At number 2, we have the passed out vomiting face base. Now this base location is actually really cool, and my favorite thing is definitely the view you get from outside. I mean, look at that view, that is incredible. And the fact that it has really good metal in here as well. So my idea with this space is you could live on the windowsill here almost. Maybe you could do something like cliffy, or maybe just live in this like pocket here. And then the nice thing with this is like you got a walkway up and down if you want into the cave a bit more, and there's lots of dinos, there's lots of metal, lots of crystal in this location, kind of like a sneaky little spot as well. Look at all that metal, and then you can go up the top even further, and there is a few dinos, you might need to block it off, but there is also metal here as well if you're interested in that. And you could go above here as well, and there's a bunch of creatures and trees and all that kind of good stuff up here as well. Let alone you on this type of island, this big floating island here, you have a beaver dam in the middle of it, so you'd have access to that as well. But I just really like it because it's kind of like a derpy little base location, and I feel like someone could do something really cool here. Either way, if you like this spot, this is at 4428. At number 3, we have Penguin Falls. And I don't mean literally, I just mean there's penguins down there. So I really like this location because 1, you get like loads of really good resources over there. You got oil, you got polymer, and you're right next to an obelisk as well. So boss terminal are going to be pretty easy. And the thing with this location, it is beautiful. I mean, look at this, man. Beautiful waterfall. You got that view, the snow's up above there, so you got a lot of high quality tames. You got the swamp over there for beavers. And this is the kind of spot I was thinking right here, and you could build on this piece of land right here, or you could use this bit of bridge as well if you really wanted. Mind you, I would probably want to preserve the metal on that bridge if I were you, but I feel like you could build like something here, like along here, or maybe you could have like a base on either side of here. It's pretty flat, it's pretty decently flat actually all throughout here, as you can see. So I think it would make like a really lovely spot for a scenic base. And yeah, again, you have all of that stuff down there that's really good. You got actually quite a lot of metal nearby as well. You got that metal there, but you also got metal up there and either side on the snow, and oil and all sorts. So I think it's a fab spot. 100%. Have a look at it. If this spot takes your fancy though, this is at 4111. This space location is for those up for a cool challenge. In my number 4 spot, we have the Great Pillar, and it has a nice bit of flat bit on top as well that you can utilize. So as you can see right here, big old flat pillar. It does have some like extra bits as well that are flat on the side. I feel like you could probably do like some kind of PvP turret tower thing on top of here that might look really cool. Or if you wanted a challenge for like a really cool base with like a heck of a view, I mean like you got a lot of scenery around here, then I feel like this would be the one. Seeing someone make like a cliff top base up here would be amazing. Either way, if you like this location, this is found at 3036. At number 5, we have a ruined spot. It wouldn't be right without a ruined spot in this video, absolutely. But this spot is really neat. I actually feel like they've improved on it a bit actually, because it does seem to be like a lot flatter inside as well. And this is like a general like ruined dome. Like you have this area and this is like your way in that you'd want to block from the outside stuff like raptors and all that. But the cool thing about this spot as well is that you have all this. You have that window outside as well. And then you have this upstairs bit as well you could use. And you could put stuff up here too, like flyers. Maybe you bring your wyverns over from Scorch. Like, you know, you could do all sorts. Like, it's quite a really big actual base place you could put a lot in and be extremely creative with. And there's like a little pathway down as well connected to your base that leads down into this lower bit if you like. Maybe you could have your bedrooms down here or something. If you like this location though, it is located at 5242. At number 6, we have a peaceful redwoods base location. Now this spot is a really cool base spot that I used to use on Official Center back in the day, and it is still really good. So you get this big flat old piece of land to build on, this land bridge here, and it connects all around. Like before, I've used this piece and I've also used this piece over here, and you can have tree houses and everything along here if you wanted to. And below you got like you can get beavers down here in particular, and then as well as if you get anything like annoying, you can just dump it down here, right, because you're living on a high up spot. But there's loads of resources. The really good thing about this spot as well, you could do like a double whammy spot if you wanted to. Up the top of here, if you fly up here on like an Argent or something like that, and then you follow it up, there's a big cave, which, I mean, you could also live in the cave as well if you wanted to. And in this cave tends to be quite a bit of metal. It tends to be, yeah, there you go, metal, crystal everywhere. If you like this location though, it is located at 8862. Next up, we have an island based location that's really flat and really good. And here we are, quite a big flat island, and it has like a little spire as well. You could make like an interesting house on, or you could just leave it as it is if you really wanted to. But the reason I like this place is like, one, it's big and flat, lots of trees, you know, lots of island space, ideal if you make like a raft and you come over here and settle, you know, it's a nice little spot for that. And the neat thing about this spot as well, it is pretty darn safe. You only really get dodos on this island as far as I remember. It's not too dangerous either way, quite safe indeed. And you're very near Skull Island, which is really good for obsidian and crystal and metal, and you're not that far from the redwoods, which is also really good on those three as well. So you're in good vicinity and stuff. You're not too far away from everything. You're near the jungle. Blue Obelisk is your local and all that stuff. So I quite like this spot. You could also have like a really mean sea base here as well, because it's an island, which is always a massive plus, especially with the Shasta in the picture. If you like this spot, it's at 6954. At number 8, we come back to the ruins, as those are very popular on the centre in general and one of the main draws. And I thought we had to include this one as it is like one of the main ones that is really cool to build in, probably one of the better ones. And there's this whole spot over here, the massive flat, and you got a cool view near some water as well. And not only do you have this little spot over here with a nice little ruined view and a door, you have the spot below as well that connects underneath, which you could have a neighbor living here or you could live here yourself. And the cool thing about this spot as well is this spot in the back where you could store your water dinos if you really wanted to. Like, there's a huge water space over that direction, which is really handy. And you could build like some cool basey bits up in this back end bit right here as well. If you like this location, it is located at 4757. This next location could be a little zesty, but let's have a look. So this location has a really nice view of the bay. It's near an obelisk. You'll notice though it is on the volcano island. That looks very different these days. However, I found like this space right here that's kind of off center, and you could build on it. Like, you could park your raft here if you wanted to build on this bit. You'd probably want to segregate this bit off with maybe like behemoth gate or a gate wall to keep yourself safe, because again, it's on the volcano. Things do get dangerous here. There are Gigas, Rexes, the new Pyromane, but maybe that is what you want, because there's also good drops as well. But if you lived here, you'd be in access to 2 really good caves, very good resources, and if you do like the new Firecats, then you are in Firecat Central, because if you head over that way, you can go and tame some Pyromanes, and you would be in the local vicinity of getting them. But I like this place in general because it's like a little choke point on the end bit, which makes it kind of ideal to stop nasties going in your base. That and the view, I think it's like a really solid spot to have a base. If you like this little location, it is at 667. And finally, at number 10, I'd feel really wrong not putting this in, because this is a really cool base location. So having a look around here, we have this cool, like, massive ruins area you could live in. You could build foundation on top and have your very own ruiny house. And then downstairs, you could also store, like, larger creatures and stuff like that. The reason I like this one, though, is I've always felt like this one, like, you can't really make a base location video without this base location, you know? It is such a classical location. Actually, a really good one as well. You can fit, actually, like, a couple bases on this one. But you could live in this little area, the hallway. You could live in the end bit. You can live in the bottom as well. There's a nice little hole in the bottom of this as well that you could live in. They don't have the cave here anymore by the looks of it, unfortunately, from what I've had a look at, but they do still have this one down here that you could sneak yourself into and live quite comfortably in this little hole in the bottom part. So yeah, there's like multiple like stories you could live in and all sorts. You could probably get yourself like a little mini water pen somewhere along here as well, or on the other side. But yeah, it's really solid little location. There's metal over that way as well, so it's not like too big of an issue to get your build down there. But I think it's like a classic, absolute classic. And if you're building on the center, ruins are like so wonderful to live in as well. If you like this location though, it's located at 4852. Either way, I hope you've enjoyed my base locations video today and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, slap a like on it and subscribe for some more Acer content, as there will be always. Either way, thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.